So today I'm about to share with you the Eyjafjallajökull stories. And it's very important to do that in the end, otherwise you don't pronounce it correctly. So what is that? Probably you can see it on the image. That's the volcano that erupted in Iceland and caused a huge wave of tourists to this island. The number of tourists was increased by 5 times after eruption of this volcano. Countries invest millions and millions of dollars into country promotion just to attract the tourists, while in Iceland, volcano did the job for free. So I was one of those people, one of those tourists who went to Iceland, well, almost after the eruption of the volcano. Well, and how we wanted to spend the trip in Iceland, we wanted to do camping. I've never done camping in my life. I've never seen a tent and a sleeping bag in my life. And the first place where I would go, well, I chose Iceland to challenge myself and be the first time doing camping there. And to summarize how my camping experience went, it was just like that. Literally, every day, every evening, it was just like that. Just like that, me taking selfies while people working. Yeah, probably, but yeah, the picture shows how cold I was and how windy it was, and it was raining every single day. National Geographic said about Iceland, Iceland, the land of fire and ice. Well, National Geographic forgot to tell that Iceland is land of fire and ice, but it's the land of wind, snow, rain, and rain, and more rain. And I can say it one more time, rain. It would rain every single day, from the morning up until late at night, during the night, and again in the morning. So one night, I woke up, and at first I didn't realize why I woke up. Took me a couple of seconds to understand what's happening, and I realized that half of my body in the sleeping bag was wet. I wanted to scream, but while people are sleeping, you kind of cannot scream, so you have to deal with the situation. I realized that I could literally squeeze water out of my sleeping bag. What to do? I mean, your first time doing this, you were sleeping in the puddle. How do you solve that? So since I was not an experienced camper, but I was kind of experienced Toastmasters, so I had to practice my leadership techniques to fight this issue. And I decided to use the technique called fake it until you make it. So how it looks like when you're in the sleeping bag half wet. Yulia, you are not cold. Cold is just in your head. You're stronger than the environment. You are in Iceland. Iceland is testing you, and it's about how you overcome it. Okay, no, doesn't work. I'm cold. I'm like dying. What do I do now? So I just decided to crawl up like a snail, and I found that little warm spot in my sleeping bag, and I fell asleep. Now, thinking of my night, in that beautiful night in the puddle, I was thinking, why didn't I go to sleep in the car? That would be such an easy solution. Well, that was too easy for Iceland. I needed to experience and be the tough camper and sleep in the wet sleeping bag. And the lesson learned from this experience is, if you cannot fake it until you make it, go sleep in the car. It would be raining after that night, still the rain would continue. But one night, we lay down in the tent and the magic happened. It was quiet. There was no rain. I was like, oh my God, thanks God, I will not be sleeping in a puddle. Yay, finally warm. But that night, the temperature went significantly down. So from heavy rain being totally wet, the temperature went down, it became extremely cold. You could see the northern lights in the sky, but when usually you see the northern lights, it means it's very, very cold. We were prepared for this trip, and the blogs said, take this magic orange thing called aist. I don't know why it's called aist. It didn't bring me babies, thank you. But it says it will bring you warmth for 8 hours. Woohoo! So we took 2 kilos of these things to survive in Iceland. So that night I was like, yay, finally I can use aist. So I opened it up. I put it right on my legs because my legs were freezing. So I put aist on my legs to make sure that I'm getting warmer, and I fell asleep. At night, I woke up almost screaming. My legs were burning. This aist was so hot that I felt like I had a burn there. So I threw away aist from my sleeping bag, and I didn't want to see this orange thing anymore in my life. In the morning, I woke up, and we all were sharing how the night went for us. And I told them, hey, this aist, it just burned my legs. And the people told me, my friends, they said, have you read the instructions? I was like, so what did the instructions said? Said, okay, don't place it close to your body. So lesson learned, read before you use it. It might seem that it was very challenging in Iceland, but it's not the case. It's not just about being wet and getting your feet burned. Iceland is also about finding a random table and having breakfast in the middle of nowhere. Iceland is about finding a random red chair and just sitting there. Is about planning your next trip in the cave. Iceland is about finding a random bath in the middle of nowhere and having a coffee there. Iceland is about sheep. Sheep everywhere. You would go to bed with the sound of a sheep, and you would wake up with the sound of beautiful bay at 7 a.m. that would wake you up and give you energy for the rest of the day. Iceland is about black sands and wild ocean. It is about beautiful waterfalls. It is about gigantic glacier. It is about climbing a volcano. It is about seeing something totally weird that's steaming triangles in the middle of nowhere. Just go there, grab your tent, get your feet burned, and explore Iceland. And don't forget, read before you use it.